When my red eyes opened up, I found myself in the Catacombs of Carthus. My bosses had sent me to do some digging. What I uncovered was that this place had a lot in common with tight pants and electronic music. Nothing stayed dead. I chased the ball up the hill because I know how important it is to keep the balls in front of you. The moment those balls get behind you, they'll knock you out of your pants, and then you're pantsless, with balls on you. I found a host. The streets above, running scared and alone. He had a curved sword, looks like he wanted to show me. I decided I'd have to show him a thing or two, so I put some lightning on my sword, and 1, 2, and then I gave him one to grow on. That's when I heard the fighting above me. I went looking and I found some gold. A piss gold yeller. One of these dogs that's always nipping at the heels of anybody getting too close to its master. Is this what my bosses had wanted to show me? Was I really just chasing gold? Well, every dog has its day, and every day has its way of being forgotten. Mom, it's my birthday. Dave Matthews Band, 1996. What would you say? What I would say is I thought this guy was looking for a fight, but judging as how his shoes are making tracks, I know what he's looking for. He's looking for a friend in all the wrong places. See, now that his dog's a bone, he's too scared to fight me on his own. His dog's a bone because I killed it. Does that make sense? I just want to make sure. My name is Saint Riot, and I'm a private eye, and I'm here to clean up these streets. Because you see, they are littered with graffiti, summon signs, all over the place. But I'm cleaning up with lightning, the greatest cleaning agent known to man. Outside of, bleach or Lysol or Windex. Fabuloso. This fella, he's looking to buy some time, and he's dug some gold up out of the floor. See, it's his buddy, his summon sign. But why would my bosses take any interest in this? Doesn't make sense. That's a puzzle for another day. I have to get ready for the gold to show up. Go ahead and pop a green blossom, and then, like a guy who's in bed with a beautiful woman when he hears, "Honey, I'm home," I'm looking for the nearest exit. I decide to use the multi-tiered platform below us, and that's when it dawns on me. The streets of Carthus look like shit. They're full of potholes. But I can use that to my advantage. You see, I can separate this host and his dog. Just like this. And then I launch the host like a rocket. And then I flatten him like a pancake. But then I get killed like a metaphor. Or would that be a simile? I forget. After that beating, when I finally come to, I decide I have to dig deeper. I see the corpses of corpses litter the hallways. This place is as dead as a morgue. More dead than usual. I slip on my obscuring ring, decide to do a little sleuthing. That's when I come to the little mouse hole. I look inside and see a couple rats. I get out my great bow, take aim, and give the host a little love tap. Like a husband who gets home and there's no meatloaf. Linda, you will get my meatloaf. That's not funny. Domestic abuse is not a joke. But then I hear the sound of sirens. I can smell the bacon. 5-0 is on the way. I decide to go take a look. I'm not doing anything wrong. But as soon as I spot the cop, she's out. And you might have noticed, she put a ring on to obscure her true nature, her true blue nature. Anyway, a couple episodes ago, you guys might remember I told you if you're going to be swinging at multiple people, you want to swing something faster than what they're swinging. That's true. but you can also swing something heavier than what they're swinging, as long as you've got your big boy pants on. And I'm wearing my big boy pants, so I'll never stop swinging. Well, I mean, until something dies, or you run out of, stamina, or, you got to have never stop swinging. Now this guy, he takes that lesson a little too far, and like a virgin on his honeymoon, he wears himself out too quick and gets fucking pancaked. It's not to imply you'll get pancaked on your honeymoon. I mean, if you got like a really great hotel reservations, maybe you get pancakes, I don't know. But I had to dig deeper. This wasn't making sense. All of these phantoms all over the place. It was strange. It was far too much gold, if you catch my drift. Skeleton wheels, bone wheels, berserk references all over shop. You'll read the manga sooner or later. The gold kept coming, but now it was in the form of lightning bolts. I backed up and decided to use the skeleton wheels to my advantage. You see, these guys, they wouldn't force the issue. They wouldn't come in too hard, because they'd be afraid that the skeleton wheels would back me up. And you gotta try and keep them from coming in too hard. I harassed them a little bit with some lightning urns. Being a detective as long as I have, you learn to pick up on subtle clues, like the fact that that phantom was just using a healing spell instead of using an Estus. That means they're out. That's why they won't engage. The bone wheels decide to get involved with the fight, but unfortunately since Dark Souls 1 these guys have been nerfed so hard it's almost a fucking joke. But like, a really sad joke. Because they were really great in Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls, just Dark Souls 1. But now, yeah, they're just fucking awful. It's like a sad joke, how bad they are. Like, knock knock. Who's there? A cancer kid who's got his dick cut off. It's a sad joke. Now that my backup's dead, I decide I have to split these two up. Since the phantom's low on Estus, I know I can do that using the skeleton ball. The host backs away to heal. The phantom gives chase, still throwing that gold lightning. I decide I can get them down this narrow hallway and give them a trademark Ouroboros turn and burn copyright 2013. Straight sword hell in a narrow corridor claims another victim. But up ahead, I can hear the bridge collapsing. So I go ahead and slip on the obscuring ring. I have to remain unseen. I can't let them know I've come this close. This congregation of skeletons can only mean one of two things. The host is either doing the moldy old bridge cheese, or America's next top models in town, and all these anorexic bitches are climbing around like Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, trying to get a leg up. We switch to the Silver Cat ring to avoid fall damage, then to the Hornet ring, and we're going to introduce this host to the Abyss. Tell Vape Lord Wilbur I said hello. He's Grave Lord Wolner, Vape Lord Wilbur. Y'all get it? Hey, shout out to my boy Ghost Hardware. Again, the same thing that you just saw, it happened again. This time, I'm fighting a gold silver knight with a lightning-infused straight sword. All of this gold was beginning to raise my suspicions. I had to go investigate, make sure the host wasn't doing the fog door cheese. Unfortunately, though, the bridge had been cut, so I'm cut off from the rest of the world. And that's when more golds showed up. All of them password summoned. They all were in on it. It was starting to make sense. This guy was using Vape Lord Wilbur's electronic cigarette as a weapon. and then this goat head guy was swinging around a dragon tooth. Both were very dangerous weapons for very different reasons. Vape Lord Wilbur's electronic cigarette exploded in his pocket, but I managed to get through most of the damage unscathed. His coil was burned out. He was unable to do anything. So I cracked him open like I cracked open this case. But then I was stuck in a shitty situation. A narrow corridor versus a dragon tooth. Yeah, that's real shitty. Like a diaper. Or an old folks home. But not shitty because, like, they shit on themselves. Shitty because, like, their kids never come see them. And it's like, man, what the fuck? You know, like, seriously? Like, you're my kid, and I raised you, and I fed you, and I clothed you, and I put you through fucking school, and then you just don't ever come see me, and I never get to see my fucking grandkids. You don't even call. Like, do you know how lonely it is in here? And these nurses come in here and fucking they put out cigarettes on my arms and shit. And I can't do anything. You know what I mean? I'm an old person. That's why you don't go to old folks' homes. No, wait. This is Dark Souls. That's how we killed the Phantom. In the distance, I saw another invader killing the host as I contemplated the potholes, the destroyed bridges. I celebrated, but it was premature. Because like I said at the beginning of the video, nothing stays dead down here for long. It wasn't making sense. The picture didn't quite add up. I could smell a rat. I found myself face to face with the same group. But now, all of a sudden, I had help. It was the greatest turning point of my life. Together, we managed to kill one Phantom. The Gold and Silver Knight. Two different colors somehow. And in this wide open area, it was much easier to deal with the Dragon Tooth. But what on earth was getting... Why were all these golds just... They kept coming back. Vape Lord Wilbur was back. With his e-cigarette. And he was talking about how he had this hip new mod. And he was chasing clouds. Vape Nation, he said. Unfortunately for him, the Catacombs of Carthus are a vape-free establishment. And he was about to get 86'd by the baddest bouncer in all of Carthus. Rat. Now it was just me and old man Reginald, and I was gonna find the truth. But I remembered, always keep the balls in front of you. It was beginning to make sense now, wasn't it? All of the pieces had come together. The gold constantly coming out of the ground. The streets had been torn to shit. I knew what the city council had done. They had hired a miner, a gold miner, with a pickaxe. Old man Reginald. He was the final boss. I was able to blast him with my magic sword. And in those final moments, I could have sworn I saw my invader buddy. I gave his ghost a little wave. But I left the streets of Carthus better than I found him. Well, not really. They still had to deal with the bridges, the potholes, the infrastructure, the corrupt city council, but the movie's over!